spring about just a different vibe around this team. How different does it feel reporting to camp, knowing the talent is different and the expectations are different?
Yeah, well, obviously the excitement's really high, optimism's really high, and I think those are two of the most special things about going into a football season. And I'm sure all 32 teams are feeling like that in some regard. But I know for us, it's kind of been, at least for me, being here for now going on year 5, it's been a building process, and to kind of get to this point to see where the team's at and see what guys we got on the roster and the coaches we have, it's really exciting, and we're definitely optimistic about the camp ahead and the season ahead.
For both of you guys, how do you kind of balance the idea that you have this offense that's filled with proven guys that have been around the league and experienced a lot with a new system and a new quarterback, and trying to navigate that here in the short term?
We just all got to come together quickly as possible. We all do different things in the receiver room. The tight ends do a bunch of different things. Got a new quarterback, the running backs. We got Swift added in there with Roshan and Khalil. So everybody just got to start to mesh, and they got to start tomorrow when we get out on the field.
TJ, what's the key to that process, though? How do you accomplish that?
Just being in the locker room, getting to know each other off the field, and then on the field, just showing your body of work that you can do, and then the coaches got to put the plan together to just get everybody involved.
Most vets like ourselves don't really feel like I need a ton of reps in the preseason. But with a rookie quarterback, he might need those reps. But probably when y'all come out, he's probably going to come out. Are y'all willing to play more reps in the preseason just to get him up to speed a little bit faster?
We will. Well, they pay us, so we got to do whatever they want us to do. That's kind of how that works. No, but we want to have a successful season, and we trust Coach that they have a good plan. And look, they've been thinking about all this for quite a while now. So whatever plan they got laid out for us to do during the preseason, whether it's in practices and games, we're going to be all for, and that's just kind of part of this process that we're in. So. Yeah, when they say jump, we have to say how high. So that's kind of the deal.
Well, how do you balance the idea of the talent you have?
Get me.
How do you balance the talent you have on this team with also understanding you got a rookie quarterback who's going through this for the first time, and the process of patience you might have to have?
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's definitely patience that we have to have with that. There's going to be a lot coming at Caleb here, and obviously the OTA period is a good jump start for that. But now it gets real with pads on, and when he gets to his first live NFL game, dudes are going to be coming after him. So that also adds an aspect to it. So yeah, there's a patience level to it, and obviously there's also an urgency level to it, and he's going to feel that, and that's just natural with the NFL. So that is part of it, and we just got to be there as teammates to kind of guide him through this process.
With regard to that, you were here for Justin's rookie year when there was a veteran starter, the number 1 guy at this point, and then he had to work his way in. It got a little awkward. I'm curious what you think of Caleb being the number 1 guy coming in. How much of a benefit is that? Do you see a difference? Is that preferable? Based on what you remember from the Justin experience, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that's like a guy-to-guy thing. I know everyone. Yeah, I think it's tough. I think some guys really benefit from being able to sit a year. Now that's kind of a luxury in this day and age. And I think the proof's in the pudding with that when you look at guys in the past and seeing who's been successful in our league when they've been able to do that. That being said, you can't replace reps. So I get both sides of that argument. I think the beauty of his situation, it's no doubt here, and he's the guy going forward. There's none of this question of when he's going to get in. Are we going to see him this year? You're going to see him this year. He's going to be in. He's been getting a lot of reps, and I think that's good for him. And maybe there's a peace of mind in that aspect. But like I said, I think a lot of that depends guy to guy, and I see pros and cons to really both situations.
Yeah, on paper, is this the most talented roster that you've been a part of?
You got competition at every position, so it's going to be fun camp, and I can't wait to see everybody out there making plays.
Cole, I'm sure that every year you start camp with optimism about how the season's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the expectations on this team compared to the other teams you've been on,
yeah,
are you sitting there thinking, and the playoffs are a possibility, if not likely, or are you sitting there going?
Yeah, I see. I have a tough time with that because that's and I mean I don't blame anybody for this, but that's the expectation set on the outside. My expectation every year I've been here is to go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. That has not changed. And you might think, oh, well, you're crazy to think that you haven't been on talented teams this year or that year. But that's just the mindset I've had every year coming in. So those are the expectations that maybe you guys have. And you're finally at the right expectation level, in my opinion. I've always been at that expectation level. That's why there was times in years past when you guys questions were optimistic after a loss, and I never really maybe understood that. This thing's about winning, and you got to go win playoff games and go win the Super Bowl. That's what this is all about. There's only 32 teams in the league here. This isn't college football where, there's really only 4 teams competing every year. All 32 teams here are trying to win the Super Bowl, and that's part of the deal. So, yeah, the expectations are definitely there now on the outside, and we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing, and I have a lot of confidence in the guys in the locker room to kind of stay the course there.
I don't think we've ever been called too optimistic.
I know, yeah. Maybe I just felt that a little bit. I've seen the full spectrum with you guys. So
yeah, we talked a lot in the spring about you guys getting to know Caleb getting to know you as people. But when you got on the field with him and you've worked with him, what have you learned about who he is as a quarterback?
Straight off the back, he's just a leader. He took control of the huddle. His arm talent was amazing. I think that's what stood out to everybody. And him trying to make all those throws this offseason and OTAs was like, dang, he really just made that, or he just did that on the run. And it was amazing to see. And I'm looking forward to seeing it in full speed against the defense with pads and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
He told us before the break that he was going to try to get together with you guys somewhere. Did a throwing session happen?
Yeah, the throwing session happened. I had a busy schedule, and Cole didn't go either, so I don't know his excuse.
We're both bad teammates here.
Yeah.
No, but they were able to get together and get some things going.
Do you know
Yeah.
where they went?
I think they were in LA. Yeah. So there's a few guys that made it out there.
Well, you mentioned before about the outside expectations being higher and yours being the same. Outside expectations being higher, does that have any effect on the players in the locker room in terms of the pressure or what's expected of them out there?
Well, it shouldn't, and that's why I remain steadfast in the same expectations year in and year out. So that now that we get in this situation where the outside expectation has changed, the expectation in the locker room doesn't. So for me, that's always been the steady thing there, and maintaining that same set of expectations within the locker room is really important. So we can't be worrying about what people are saying on the outside necessarily. We gotta hear the plan from Flus, what he wants, and how we're going to approach the whole season, and we stick to that, and we got to be able to block everything else out.
When Ryan was in here earlier, he was talking about how he's telling Caleb to lean on the support he has around him and on the veteran guys. As veteran guys, what can you guys do to kind of help him through the ups and downs that he's obviously going to have?
Yeah, they're inevitable. Everyone goes through them throughout the year. It's just, I think as the older you get, you learn how to deal with them better and better. And I remember when I had Jimmy in the locker room with me, having older guys to lean on, to talk to, and help you through the process is big time. So I thought we were able to build a really good rapport with Caleb during the OTA session and get to know him as a person really well. So you just hope that throughout this whole process he feels comfortable enough to approach each and every one of us to kind of help guide him through this whole deal he's going to be going through.
Jay, you mentioned that that Caleb's doing some eye-opening things on the practice field. Does he look different from other rookies that you've seen or played with or developing quarterbacks? Is there kind of wow, this guy's ahead of things, or is he like any other rookie?
You could say he's ahead of things in the OTA aspect, yeah. But when we get out there in live action, we're gonna really see the expectations and how everything flows, if it transfer over or if he's gonna have those rookie curves that he got to overcome. So I'm looking forward to it and seeing how he attacks it and goes about it.
DJ, in recent training camps, the defense has had the edge on the offense here, especially in the trash talking department.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Caleb, do you think that will, and just in general with the fortification of the offense, do you think that will even up a little bit this year? Do you think that'll be a little more competitive on both just the competitive part and the kind of trash talking part?
If we talking about trash talking, they can have the trash talk. We just gonna go out there and make the most plays that we can each day and get better, because we got to get on track faster than they do, because they've been the top 5 defense for 3 years now, and we got a whole new offense that we got to install with a bunch of playmakers that go out there and got to connect.
With being in a new offense, what's the realistic time frame that you guys can get comfortable in this new system?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, now. Yeah, it's the urgency. It's we got to get this thing going quickly. There's not going to be time to kind of meander through this thing. you got to get this thing going quickly here. So we got to operate at a high level. We got to really take advantage of our walkthroughs when we get these things at night. And the better we are through those things, the faster we'll be able to execute, on game day. But yeah, it's got to happen quickly.